All right, Wi-Fi in your home got you down. It's got me down. And it also got David Ruddock from Android Police down, and he's joining us today to tell us a little bit about it. Welcome to the show, David.
Thanks, Jason.
How's it going, man? It's good to have you.
It's going well.
So first, what are some of the unique challenges that you have with your home setup that you wrote about?
Well, I mean, I live in a pretty small apartment, about 1,000 square feet, but I do have an issue where, like a lot of people, I want hardline access for certain devices in my home on my network. And for me, it's my PC in my office, which is about as far away from the bedroom as any one point in the apartment could be.
Yeah, exactly.
So that means either running a bunch of Ethernet cable or just kind of dealing with poor Wi-Fi signal on a lot of routers that are out there.
Right. So obviously today I got the email, and in fact, I got the email, but I also got the shipment of Google Wi-Fi. I have the 3-pack. This is Google's mesh Wi-Fi solution. You posted your review. You've been living with, I think, the 3-pack in your home as well, right?
Yeah. And isn't that box just lovely? I love
know.
the way they put it together. It's like it's a nice little
so
present
satisfying.
you open up. It is. I know. I just want to keep the box to I don't know, do something with.
Yeah, you can do something with this box for sure.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, you can buy them in a 3-pack, and I would say that is going to be for most people the best way to do it. It's $299 for the 3-pack, which is a lot of money for a router, but they're $129 a piece otherwise. And so if you buy 2, you only save $40. And really the only reason you buy, you'd want 3. You don't want 2.
Okay.
The economic argument's just not there. So I got the 3-pack as well from Google, and they were super easy to set up. You just use the Google Wi-Fi previously on Hub app and just follow the instructions on screen. It is really very easy. When you're done, you'll have a single network SSID for each device, and Google Wi-Fi uses technology to steer your end devices to the the access point where they're going to have the best signal. In my experience, this did generally work pretty well. Devices that were very near the bedroom hotspot all connected to that one by default. Devices near the kitchen went on the kitchen one, and everything in the office went on the office one. So I think that the simplicity of it is honestly what really, I think, makes the biggest case for Google Wi-Fi. That, and it does work very well.
So you wrote in your piece that it could actually decrease your network's performance. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, definitely. And I think for some people, there are going to be concerns there. And there are products out there that can provide better peak performance than Wi-Fi does. So the way Wi-Fi works is, in the way Google expects most people will use it, is the mesh points talk to each other completely wirelessly. So you have a main Wi-Fi hub point that is wired into your router or your modem, however you choose to configure your network. And then you have 1 or 2 or more mesh points, if you want, that are connected completely wirelessly to the rest of the system. So not only are they providing connectivity to your devices at the end of the network, they're also talking back to the primary Wi-Fi hub. And as a result, you get limited wireless bandwidth because of this. So your peak speeds might not be as high in some areas of your home as if you were running a single router or a more powerful mesh Wi-Fi system. So, for example, my home connection is about 350 megabits per second. And if I tested it, the primary Wi-Fi hub, well, I get about 300 megabits per second, which is what I got with my old router, generally speaking. But if I go to the bedroom one, the farthest one in the system, I get anywhere from 100 to 140 megabits per second. And the same is actually generally true of the one in the kitchen. So if you have, a network already where you're getting very good Wi-Fi signal in most of your home, Google Wi-Fi could actually lower your Wi-Fi performance in terms of peak speeds, at least.
Have you had a chance to mess around? I mean, this is a whole category now, and it's all based around kind of extending that Wi-Fi into areas of your home that maybe get it a little bit less, distributing it equally, essentially. Like I have a hard time reaching the upstairs. Like if I'm in my bedroom, performance drops down considerably, so I'll probably put one of these up there and that sort of stuff. But I mean, there are others in this category. Have you played around with those? Do you have any point of comparison between those versus your single router?
Me personally, no. I mean, Google did publish some results against two of the more popular ones, Luma and Eero, and showed that Google Wi-Fi was better getting peak speeds in more far-flung corners of the network. But there are other ones like Orbi, which apparently does tend to still be considerably faster, but it's also a much more substantial piece of equipment. The Google Wi-Fi pucks are very small and pretty discreet.
Yeah,
they're very very easy to place almost anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We should mention that Eero is one of the network sponsors, but you can say whatever you want about it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the promise of the mesh network also is that it makes it better for the way we use the internet. Like, we have kids in their bedrooms, streaming games, and then, someone else in another room streaming Netflix, and then I've got my Amazon Echo. Like, do you find that that it's better suited? Is that part of the promise too, that it's better suited for the way that we use the internet, not just like in the bedroom versus in the office, but how we're using the internet?
I think so. I think because the thing I would say is, even if you ignore the issues about peak speed and what all these mesh products are really about, is about giving you an extremely reliable and stable connection at most corners of your home. And because we have these devices that are increasingly always connected to the network, especially with smart home, I think that these kind of Wi-Fi products are going to become much more popular. We're constantly wanting that uninterrupted, good connectivity to make sure that all of our connected stuff works. And I think, Google Wi-Fi and other products in this segment do make a compelling argument over the single traditional Wi-Fi router in that respect.
Now, some of the competitors, like right now at home, I'm testing out the Almond. I think it's the Almond 3 system, and it has Zigbee kind of smart home functionality built into it. Do you get some of that kind of advanced stuff within Google Wi-Fi, or is it just straight up mesh networking router?
Yeah, it seems to be pretty much a straight up mesh networking router. And I guess, something we had kind of thought was, well, maybe Google's going to pack all of these smart home communication protocols into Google Home, and then Google Wi-Fi will just do Wi-Fi. And neither of them really got those kind of advanced communication protocols, it seems. I think Google would rather leave the smart home hub technologies to the companies that make those products, and at least for now, stay out of that. I would say that, though, if you want a more all-in-one solution, yeah, there are probably products out there that will suit you a little better.
Well, and not to mention Google has their Google Home product, which they released recently, which has some capabilities in that regard as well for controlling some parts of your smart home. I have to imagine that's going to get built out further, and I also have to imagine that Google Wi-Fi is in Google's perfect world, designed in part to play nice with its other products like Google Home. So it's like they're all playing on the same team together.
Well, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah, exactly, in a perfect world. So before we let you go, verdict, yay, nay, what's your thought?
Absolutely. I've quickly forgotten Google Wi-Fi even exists in my home, and that's probably the best thing you can say about a networking product, is that it never gets in your way, and Google Wi-Fi has not gotten in my way once since setting it up.
Excellent. Really appreciate you taking some time to talk to us about this. I can't wait to get it all set up at home. Of course, once I'm done playing around with the Almond 3, because I have to wrap up that review, and then I'll get to Google Home. But appreciate your insight on this. David Ruddock is with Android Police. Where can people follow you online?
You can follow me on Twitter at my increasingly difficult handle at RDR0B11, and it's just you can look up my name.
It's a long story.
Easier.
Yeah, exactly. I left the Twitter handle to you. I was going to try, but I didn't want to mess it up.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Excellent. Thanks again, David. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me.
Have a good night.